Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that we're going to talk about tonight is some breaking news coming from the South Carolina Capitol. I've had some conversations with some people who are actually in the State House, and constitutional carry has just passed a major hurdle. Make sure you stay tuned for everything in here. Everything I have will be linked in the description box below, and I cannot wait to hear what you guys think on this one, and please send this one out. And if you are new or you're a returning viewer, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and making sure you turn the notification bell on. We need as many people as we can to get into the fold to spread information just like this in order to pass the Second Amendment along to the next generation. And thank you so much in advance for your consideration. And the content tonight is brought to you by SDI. Now, I know a lot of you out there like to upgrade and modify your own guns. And if you're looking to turn a hobby into a career, Sonoran Desert Institute can help. Their online programs cover everything from gunsmithing to ballistics to woodworking and finishes, shooting sports management, and more, plus all the tools and materials are shipped directly to your door. There's never been a better time to turn that hobby into a career, so what are you waiting for? There's a link in the description box below, and thank you so much to SDI for constantly supporting this channel. All right, my brothers and sisters, we are having a great time in the comments field. Again, if you received a Biden re-election ad, make sure you leave a comment about how bad they waste their money, because there is no place for that here. It's actually shocking me how many of you are leaving comments that you're seeing it, which I think is amazing. But let's get down to the brass tacks of what we're talking about. This video is a little unique. I've got everything that I have from South Carolina linked down in the description box. Some of this stuff is from a conversation I had with one of the lobbyists directly in South Carolina. This is cutting edge stuff. They haven't even written articles about it. Let's get into it. Let me show you what they're doing for constitutional carry in South Carolina. Now, what I'm about to read you is a press release from two organizations, National Association for Gun Rights and the Palmetto State, let me get this right, Palmetto Gun Rights. They're responding to this news because the constitutional carry bill has passed the Senate Judiciary. That's a really big deal because now it is accessible to the rest of the Senate, then the House, then the governor. That was the big sticking point from what I'm told. Let's get into this. Let me show you what's happening. Palmetto Gun Rights responds to Senate Judiciary passing constitutional carry. May 9th, 2023. It's still going on right now, actively as this filming. Columbia, South Carolina, May 9th, 2023. This morning, the Senate Judiciary Committee passed S-109, constitutional carry, on a vote of 12 to 11. The bill must now pass the full Senate before Thursday, May 11th. 27 other states, and it goes on to say the most recent additions, Nebraska and Florida. Now, this is incredibly important, and let me show you kind of high level what the bill is doing, where it's been, and now where it is currently. Because this could be the 28th state if the stars align. What I'm showing you on screen right now is Bill 109. Everything is linked down there if you wanted to see it, but it's not updated on the site. That's how new this is. Here's the actual South Carolina legislature, again, linked if you want to review the entire thing. But they put up a really unique graphic down here, which is a pretty good visual aid. What you're looking at is where it is in the South Carolina Senate. So you've got introduced and in committee. That's the breaking news. It passed the Senate Judiciary Committee in the state of South Carolina. What that means is it would have to be brought to a vote on the Senate floor and brought up in the House, either concurred, amended, or voted and passed by May 11th, which is Thursday. So it's down to the buzzer. South Carolina could pull this out of the fire and literally be the 28th state in a sprint to the finish. But that's the big news. It passed the Senate Judiciary. That means it's been put on the Senate calendar. That has ramifications, which I'll talk about in 1 second. Now, that's where we're at from everything we have that's public knowledge that's even been published yet. So now what's inside the Capitol, what's going on, is there's been lobbying efforts going on for a while to get this past the Senate Judiciary. That's been the sticking point. It's now passed it, which allows it to go to the open Senate. That's the important piece. Just like in our federal system, it gets out of committee and it goes to the main Senate. Now, in order to get this thing passed directly into a floor vote, they'd have to pull it through a thing called cloture, which means they need 2/3 of the senators to vote and say, yeah, let's vote on this bad boy. Now, after that, it has to go to the South Carolina House. The House has the option to either agree and just pass it back on and pass it and it goes to the governor, or they can amend it, or they can do whatever they want. Now, full transparency. South Carolina is a little bit rhino-y when it comes to their Republicans. You got this, like the land of Lindsey Graham, to put this in full perspective, okay? If they wanted to stymie this, all they have to do is put an amendment in. It doesn't have time and it gets stalled into the next year or the next session, which I've been told is January. Now, this is the important piece. Just like last year where we had Florida and we had Nebraska kind of stymied and kind of halted on constitutional carry. It was ready to go for the next session, in this case, January. So in the next session, going into an election year, if worst case scenario occurs, it's on the calendar for the Senate already. That was the big hurdle. It's primed and ready for the next step. That occurred today. If South Carolina works out, and if you live in South Carolina, call your representatives. You got 2 days, well, a day now, to get this thing over the finish line in a sprint to a finish, and hopefully we can add a 28th state from this breaking news, because this is a big deal. Make no mistake about it. They are amped at Palmetto Gun Rights. They are amped in South Carolina, and thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.